Hey y'all, this is gonna be real quick. When I say I have never been so at a loss for words, I mean I'm probably being hyperbolic, but when I say I have seen some of the most degenerate stuff that I have seen in years. So I was on Facebook and I see like somebody that I follow went live, and the title of his video was, "Is Megan Thee Stallion a snitch?" You know how the stuff pops up and give you a notification. So I was just like, I know people not calling her that. Like, you know, I thought the title was bizarre because I'm like, there's no way that people can even be thinking that, right? So I'm like, it bothered me because I'm like, why would he? Because he's actually, you know, pretty, you know, well known in the black community. So I'm like, why would he make a whole show dedicated to that? So then I said, well, let me go and type in Megan Thee Stallion on YouTube and see what pop up. Then I type in Megan Thee Stallion and then the word snitch just to see like how big is this discourse, you know? And when I say all these videos popped up of black men saying she snitched. Okay, so the context is this woman was shot by Tory Lamez, who is, I think he's an R&B singer. And he shot her twice in both feet, like, you know, and one bullet in each feet or something like that, in each foot rather. So she luckily didn't get, you know, severely injured. She's able to walk. She's able to heal pretty nicely from what I see. But I saw the pictures of the bullet hole in her damn foot, you know. So she didn't say anything for, I want to say it's been about 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. So she finally made a video stating that he indeed shot her. And when I say, you know, for the most part, people thought she was lying. People was laughing at her. Black men were laughing at her. Black women were coming to the defense of Tory Lanez inadvertently by questioning her story and asking if she was the protagonist or antagonist rather. It was just pretty much put the blame on Megan. Whether y'all want to just try to say it was black men, it was actually the whole black community. I saw it and I was shocked and just livid. So I said, okay, obviously, you know, there's situations where I've heard some crazy stuff with black women getting assaulted for little to no reason. There's a story, literally, that's true. It's online, you can look this up, where a black woman was walking down the street and a black man attacked her and ripped her eyeballs out of her head and threw them on the sidewalk. Now, when he got arrested and they asked him, why did you do it? He said because he was at a low place at his life. That's what he told the police. He was at a low place at his life, so that's why he attacked her. I have personally been attacked, punched and spit on and literally assaulted. I had to go to the hospital with stitches in my face. And on the police report, and y'all can go look this up. I'm not making this up. And he did it in front of 40 fucking people, witnesses. He told the police that he was having a bad day. That's literally what's on the police report. That's literally what he told the judge. I was having a bad day. So I can literally go probably name about 100 of these type of stories because I've been collecting them because I've been on you niggas' neck. Y'all gotta stop this fucking bullshit, black community, because this bullshit about Megan Thee Stallion being a snitch after she was attacked by this Tory Lanez dude and shot in both feet, which could have killed her or could have paralyzed her, and y'all want to sit up there and say she snitched? Y'all got me fucked up when I said there is no way the black community could be such a low life like that. Like, this is why, this is, do y'all not ever question why are we at the bottom? You know, I wrote a whole book about how did we get on the bottom like this for 1,000 years and no respect and no power? And y'all never think to reflect on what are the ways in which we contribute to our global status, our global reputation, not even reputation, because who gives a fuck about that, but power. I mean, y'all ever think of what is the rhetoric, what are the discursive dialogues we need to have, what are the things we need to be focused on to get power or get up out of our subjugated situation? So y'all want to call, y'all don't realize how ridiculous this looks. Like, I just cannot believe that I'm seeing hundreds of videos on YouTube calling Megan Thee Stallion a snitch by black men whom kill women 35 times more likely than any who kill black women, by the way. 30 times more than any other race of women. That's a fact. That's a statistic. And yes, I don't really like to get into, the actual trauma porn of what black women go through and all these things, because I worked through that for years. I've been studying that stuff for, I want to say, about 5 years now. So I thought I was past, a lot of the emotions that I was feeling. I would always tell myself I want to get in a transcendent state, whether people support me or not, or whether people support the black woman or not. And when I see stuff like this, it's just, when I say my hope just gets slashed every time. Like, this is not entertainment. This is not funny to me. Like, I can't understand the level of debasement the culture would have to be in to blame this woman for damn near getting killed. She did get shot, for damn near getting killed. And what it would take for black men to come out in droves and say that she's a snitch for telling, when knowing good and hell well he ain't had no business shooting her. Why is there not a whole bunch of videos on YouTube saying he had no business shooting that woman? Why don't I see that? Why don't I see the denouncement of Tory Lanez and the disownment and just pretty much discarding him, like I did Nicki Minaj when she wanted to work with Tekashi 69? Why don't I see stuff like that? Like, when I say that kind of stuff is so hurtful, I would probably never be in a situation like that. But I just think, like, the women grow, like these young ass girls, man, like, it's just so sad that that's what they have to look forward to, because they're not able to contextualize or truly dissect the nuance of like on a consciousness level of what our community thinks, behaves, values. Like, I'm able to dissect that, but not everybody, and navigate through it pretty well. But not every woman is able to do that, especially beautiful, young baby girls. And when I think of, like, I try to do as much as I can, like, to tell these women, this is how you're going to take your power back, and this is what you need to do to check these men. And if you're going to divest, you're going to divest. But if you're not, and you're not attracted to other men, and you're going to stick it out, here's the things that needs to be done as women. Very, very dark things, by the way, because to literally get this community back to where it will need to be, as far as back into, like, the days of the Mali Empire, the days of the Ghana Empire, the days of even Kemet. I'm talking about that type of power where you're able to actually build and be self-sufficient on your own. You have the confidence to do it. I mean, when I say the level of darkness that would need to be taken by black women to get that done in her community would be astronomical, and right now she's not willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. I don't give a fuck. I would do anything to get up out of this situation and to make sure that you as a people do the right things. And if you're not, then there will be severe consequences for those who just refuse to, but I say those things, and I'm livid right now, so I do have to watch what I say. But what I will say is, y'all have no idea what it would take to get to, like, a type 5 civilization. And then you wonder why. Okay, no one respects us, and it's been 500 years and 100 years, 60 years, you haven't done anything, you haven't built anything. Black men's reputation is completely garbage worldwide, and that's pretty sad, obviously. But when you see stuff like this, and then you start to think, like, that's how y'all feel about y'all woman? Y'all calling her a snitch? She ain't no fucking gang member. She's a woman. All she rap about is sex. She never rap no gang stuff in her songs. Like, where are y'all getting this from? This is a whole ass woman. I just don't. I cannot understand it. I'm trying to. Actually, there's no way I could possibly understand that kind of level of degeneracy. Then you wonder why you want to cry to God and cry out to ancestors and they don't help you. I'm telling y'all have no idea what's in store if y'all keep this kind of crap up. Like, the stuff I could see happening on a spiritual level is just so, like, obviously, for some of us we'll be fine, but it makes you just question everything you ever thought, or everything, like, whew. I cannot believe y'all on YouTube saying that about that young lady and passing that around where it's going viral on Twitter, viral on Facebook, and viral to bash this woman's reputation. And she ain't no motherfucking snitch. Because if you shoot me, You bet that's gonna be the last thing you ever shoot in your life. And she did the right thing to walk away from that argument. And as she was walking away, she was shot in both feet. And I just find it ridiculous that y'all would blame her and call her a snitch like that. And then wonder why no global powers respect you or you don't have any status among the nations. Because this is the stupid shit that y'all do. If y'all was to get power, black women, y'all better run. Because when I say it, these men will kill you, stomp on you, like literally just go and chop your head off. And then say, if you try to tell, then say she snitched. And what did she do? Like, I'm telling you, like, it will be complete devastation on a large scale if this kind of discourse makes it to the forefront and becomes the norm. Black women, y'all have done a terrible job of checking these men, man. Terrible job. Like, and these men are just, they think they can do anything, and there is no check and balances in place to thwart those type of elements in our society. Like, black men should not be able to get away with that. And I'm talking to y'all. I don't give a fuck. Like, y'all could try to, oh, she hates us and she's bashing us. I don't, look, if that's what you want to take from this, then so be it. Because y'all know good and hell well y'all don't have no right to be going on making these crazy videos calling this lady a snitch who's been shot in her leg. There's no logic in that. That's the thing. Once again, I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't get y'all shit together, there's gonna be another 500 years of this shit. And what happens when the black man gets shot by the police? Would y'all want the black woman to be saying all these things? That what did he do? He probably lying. He probably did this. He probably, like, are y'all serious? It's the most disgusting thing I have ever saw in my life. And I will be collecting documentation because y'all like to lie and say y'all never did these things when I'm looking at all these videos right now. And then I'm thinking, like, okay, maybe they actually trying to defend her. I'm clicking on a video and this dude smoking weed, men smoking weed, talking about you was talking that rah rah in your song, so you shouldn't have snitched. I'm like, what the fuck? With a Scully cap on and all this stuff. When I say that y'all will not go anywhere as long as y'all keep this stuff up as a community. I don't care who want to come and lie to you, what black activist, what social commentator, what revolutionary come and tell you some lies about how this is what, if they not saying that you need to do right by yourself and by your community and by the women in your community, if they don't start off with those three things, you could forget any actions, you can kiss any idea of liberation goodbye. Because that's where it starts. It starts with the cultural values. It starts with the collective consciousness. What are the objectives and the values and the goals of the community? That's what gets you your liberation. And of course, strategic mindset. But you can have all those things, but if you are going to abuse women and children, abandon women and children, only 28% of our community is married. I think it's about 30-something% or something like that now. Like, if y'all think that y'all can bring all this dysfunction into any forms of progress and defunding the police and all this stuff, when I say it is a joke, and you will be right where you at right now in the next 500 years, regardless of what happens. I don't care if we just separated and had two different planets. If y'all don't get y'all shit together, y'all will still see yourself at the same position of not being able to build, of not being able to concretize the culture in a form of positive manner in a way that serves everyone in the community, in the black community, that is. If y'all cannot do that, and black women, if you keep coddling these men, when I say that your life depends on creating a system of check and balances, aka the Queen Mothership Reinstatement, which I did a whole series on, did a whole 6-part series on the Queen Mothership, wrote a whole book called The Nocti Queen Mothership, and continuously give commentary on strategy, and even give information for black men to get theyself starting the healing process and to get theyself into a strategic mindset. So I'm pretty much talking to fucking brick walls. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, y'all gotta create a check and balance system that is based on logic, discipline, and truth, black woman. Because you are the first being on this planet. You are the mother of the race. You're the only one that have a mitochondria Eve gene. You're the first one that your bones are the oldest that was found in Africa since the time of Australopithecus 3.8 million years ago, according to Western science. If we go back to African science, it's 160 million years, and pretty much nobody knows when the black woman descended on this planet Earth. But it's a fact that women are the only beings that can give birth to men, period. And if they don't want to, they don't have to. Quiet as it kept, even if you were to R them, which, you know, the R word, they can still find ways to get to not have that child, even if you did want to control her sexual reproduction, which has been the battle between men and women for literally the last 15,000 years. And they still have not been successful at it. And then since black men have overthrown the Queen Mothership, we literally went into slavery and the colonization of Africa, and we still have not been able to get back on top because they have tried to implement a Western society system that will never work in African pedagogy. There's no history of it being found, and all of the African societies and tribes that have tried to implement it, the Yoruba and Igbo tribes, and I can name a bunch of them that don't even have a history of patriarchy. They're trying to copy the same system, or actually a system that was forced upon them, and now everybody have all these problems throughout Africa and throughout the whole diaspora, throughout Jamaica, throughout America, throughout wherever, because you're living in a mindset, in a state of consciousness that is not indigenous to your values, indigenous to Mama Africa and to the African gods and ancestors. So now you created this beast, this monster, this demon of a man who do not respect you, do not love you, literally hates your guts. And now we see this situations that we see, that when a black woman gets attacked with a gun, she gets blamed for it, questioned for it, accused of lying, then called a snitch when she wants justice. But no one looked at Ahmaud Arbery that way, or all these other black guys that got killed. Freddie Gray and Philando Castile and Tamir Rice. If black women were treacherous like that, they would just say, "Oh, Tamir Rice he had a fake gun. How was they supposed to know it was real? Come on now, he should have been out there." Just imagine that same logic that y'all have applied to the black women. Imagine that being applied to you, regardless of age, regardless of status, regardless of anything. Just everything that just imagine if every time something go wrong with the black man, and it is clearly seen to be unjust or clearly seen to be unfair, you have a bunch of black women saying, "Well, he shouldn't have. Well, what were we supposed to do? He shouldn't have been driving out that late at night. He shouldn't have did this. How you know he really did it? He probably lying." Imagine all of that. And y'all better be careful for what you ask for, black men. You better, because you're really barking up a tree that's really beyond your pay grade. When I say y'all have no idea what y'all doing on the spiritual side, you don't honor your ancestors and give them offerings for the most part, especially in America. So you don't know what the fuck you doing at all spiritually. And the karma all this karma, I see a big ass swarm of karma coming your way. I've tried to tell the black man that the black woman cannot take on that karma for you. That's why God is stepping in and trying to get her, gonna get at her for a lot of shit she's been doing as far as that coddling. She's been trying to literally take on karma for you. She cannot do that. But what she can do, and what I have tried to do, is to give tools to help you navigate that karma that's literally inevitable for some things that y'all did 1,000 years ago that have still been perpetuating itself, and it has not gotten better. You have not done your healing, you have not done your restoration, you have not done anything to liberate yourself or your black woman or your black child. So yes, there's things coming your way that are major, actually very much pretty fucking major. So I have tried to give as many of y'all this warning and try to tell y'all these are the things that you can do to restore the Queen Mothership, and giving y'all examples of who have done it and liberated themselves and become enlightened beings as far as other black men who have done it. And I've tried to tell y'all as much as possible that if y'all don't do right by that black woman, your manhood will never prosper. And if you don't do right by yourselves as a community, that goes for black women and black men, nothing you do will prosper. It don't matter what it is, because how you treat yourself is how this universe will treat you, because everything in the emotional body reverberates out to what the universe feeds on. So if you have self-hatred, and this self-hatred manifests into this grotesque form of hatred projected onto the black woman, it goes back on you. Now, I'm not saying to go back threefold and no shit like that, but eventually, whatever you give out, you get back. Pretty much. This is just common sense. So, if that's your state of consciousness, and this is the path you are going down, as far as the karma that y'all would never, ever, ever be able to escape. There's ways to navigate it, though, and for certain beings who become enlightened, you're going to be good. You're going to be excellent. But even if you say, I don't believe in karma, or I don't believe in, cause and effect, or a situation where I don't believe in reaping what I sow, whatever. Okay, that's fine. We'll see about that. You don't have to believe it for the energy to go back towards you, or for something to happen catastrophically, like the Tower card in the tarot, where you have the epiphany, the realization, and things happen that are outside of your control to get you to reflect even deeper. Everybody had those life experiences. It's a part of God's plan. It's a part of a universal plan, that if a human being just refuses to wake up, refuses to see how what they're doing is pretty detrimental to themselves or to their soul or to others, situations happen where they're able to get the gist. You'll learn your lesson whether you like it or not. You'll be forced to. So this is where you're going to be at, black man, very soon. It's disgusting to see that. It's disgusting to see y'all call Megan Thee Stallion a snitch. It's mortifying. It's embarrassing. I cannot believe that black women have let it get this bad. She can say that and cry and whine and say, why do you treat me that way? She's the first being on the planet. She is God. I don't care whether y'all want to believe it or not, and get jealous like y'all been jealous. The black woman is God. She's the first being on this planet, and she's the only being that has the Eve gene and mitochondrial DNA that can birth the whole entire human race. And she has been given that power, given raw power that she literally just don't use. She has literally lost all sense of self by becoming so male identified and coddling these black men, and never ever like doing anything to stop this madness when she has the power. I guess she's afraid she's going to be seen as aggressive. You're seen as aggressive anyways. We might as well band up and start literally cracking heads around here in this community. Either that or leave. However y'all want to do it. I mean, a lot of black women just saying, fuck it, I'm gonna just leave. So you're gonna have to work together as women. One, to liberate your consciousness from male identification, to the process of healing the trauma, the womb, to the process of healing the epigenetics within your womb, the self-hatred that is within those epigenetics, the trauma of slavery that is within those epigenetics. All of that has to be healed first. So basically, you have to come first, black woman. You have to save yourself, black woman. And then either you will have the light codes and the elevation and evolution mentally to be able to know how to create a whole new society. You don't have to fix a society, but you would have the power and the mental aptitude to create a new society. For women who feel like you have to save the black community, and you have to, I don't feel that way. I want to help black women though, and I want to help her children. And I think about like 1 to 2 generations from now of what I would like to help. Basically, her children and her children's children, by means of shifting the collective consciousness and ushering a whole new paradigm through her teaching her children a certain set of wisdom, values, and tenets. So that's where I come in. So obviously she would have black sons and black baby girls, and she would instill within them, literally as soon as they come out the damn womb, on what to think, how to do it, and I would help with that process. So that's where I come in. As far as the larger community of black men, I don't mind them listening to the rhetoric and the messages that I speak, because it would trickle down to them, for those men who are actually with those black women that I'm planning to help. So they would get that help Same with the woman who, if she was dating anybody, the black woman who's dating whoever, she would get that help. So I'm not necessarily concerned with saving the black community, but there is a segment of black women that are, they go out marching and protesting every time something happens. They go out getting slapped with pepper spray and getting arrested and all types of shit. Even when they're pregnant, they do crazy shit like that. So if you are that type of woman, I want to let you know that I'm not saying you can't do it. What I'm saying is the amount of very dark tactics that you would have to use to get that community to where you need it. We talking about Tulsa, Wall Street type shit where they build and they own, or Mount Bayou and Durham in Atlanta in 1906. If you want to see the black community doing that type of shit, you want to see where they was 70% married and all that shit again, no single mother or that weird stuff. You want that? Oh, you will literally turn into I don't even know how to say it, but you would have to be very dark-sided, very, you have to be completely in your shadow side as a woman. You would have to utilize dark feminine energy as well as the dark goddess, and you would need you would really need to go there. Many of you will not. Many black women are still in the Jesus stuff, so the chances of that happening, that's why I'm saying the chances of it happening is slim. Unless it was like a council of women who was running everything and they were still all on that dark energy type stuff, because that was what need to be used to get that community to where it would need to go. And since there is not a bunch of black women with that set of consciousness yet, it's pretty much no point in me diving deep into those things. Those things of what need to be done has been shown to me. It will come eventually. I don't think in my lifetime, but eventually black women will get it. I will probably tell black women underground what those things are, because they're very dark. They will work, but they are very dark. And that's what would need to happen to get the black Wall Street community. It's not no government giving you reparations, and not no white person giving you no job, and marching on Selma together and integration and all this stuff. It won't be those things that get y'all back. It won't be going on YouTube calling Megan Thee Stallion a snitch and trying to protect black men's images at all costs by throwing the black woman under the bus. It won't be black men going on YouTube saying how much they can't stand a black woman and clowning her in favor of hopefully getting the white gaze upon him. It won't be none of those things that you're thinking. We talking about the high level black person that used to be in existence prior to the 1960s. The ones who had no problem pretty much building their own community with the resources that they have, and eventually generating so much prosperity that they had the most prosperity within the country. So the Wall Street type stuff. If you want that, good luck. Because y'all not willing to do what it takes as a community. Nobody is. Black women not. They stay waiting for black men to lead. Y'all talking about black men gotta lead. When have they led ever in Africa before they overthrew the Queen Mothership? Y'all always led together for one. He always gave y'all all the administrative tasks of black women, because the black woman's brain could run circles. It is just a fact, and black men know this. They know this to this day. So not only did they willingly, and multiple tribes in Africa, by the way, I can name at least 20 before colonialism and before slavery, had no problem women going to do the administration task. So even in the kingdom, I'm talking about on a commoner level and on the royal level, it was just a known thing. The black women were going to do the administration tasks. Yes, the men are going to build the houses. The men are going to hunt. The men are going to skin those lions, skin whatever they skinned, and utilize those fur and animals and all that stuff. They're going to do that. They're going to even do some of the textile making, of course, making of the bow and arrows and the weapons. But for the most part, the women was running everything, especially the spiritual stuff. So she's pretty much running everything, including the judicial affairs between the society and the governance. Of course, there was an elders, and then there were kings and chiefs. Obviously, the kings and chiefs. Guess who still was the mother of the king, the Queen Mother, who advised him on his rulership, literally to her death. That's just how it was set up all throughout Africa. And some, there was even checks and balances. Very, very pretty cool checks and balances. There was even one tribe. I want to say it was in Sudan. I can't remember the name of the. I'll find it. I mean, this stuff is easy to find. Where the black men and the black women literally got into a war. The woman won. How did the women win? I don't know. I don't know how they won. And then Queen Idia became the queen. They were literally fighting over the throne, and the women won. So, and I'm gonna say there was Kushite. I'll put it in the comment section what tribe was. I gotta look back. I have like a whole bunch of information on this stuff. What I'm saying is, in 1,000 years, what happened after the Queen Mothership got overthrown? When the balance of the power of the black woman got overthrown by her sons out of rage and jealousy and a quest for more control and more materialism within the global trade enterprise. What happened when that happened? Those white guys that they were doing the trade deals with literally enslaved them, and the rest is history. Colonialization, slavery for the last 1,000 years. Obviously something is wrong here. So what have they led you? I keep asking you that. You don't have a question. You're talking about they're going to lead you. Why they don't lead, and the black man says, why don't she won't let me lead? And apparently he doesn't know his history. He doesn't even know the history of Kemet, if he's even talking like that, because y'all love to go to Kemet. Y'all love to go, yeah, that's pretty much all y'all go to. But what was the history in Mali and the Akan tribe and the Asante tribe and the Krobo tribe and even the traditional Igbo tribe, all over the places where you come from, the Senegambia tribe? What was going on in each of these tribes? They had queen mothers. So you don't know your history to even say some stupid shit like that. And then y'all wonder why there's so much gender imbalance, so much gender wars, and so much fuck shit in this community. Because y'all won't restore the African ancient philosophies that ran our communities, that got overthrown and pushed to the side for patriarchy, and for not even so much patriarchy, but just for total control and making trade deals. So if y'all waiting for black men to lead, the black men gonna lead what? Is some dookie stained draws? That's what they gonna be leading in. Because what are they gonna be leading you? What have they led in 1,000 years? And I say this with love. I am very angry. I'm very angry at the shit that I've been seeing in this community ever since pretty much I was born. I've seen the complete decline. So obviously it's frustrating. It's very frustrating, and it's very hurtful, and it is very painful. And I know that gets black men off to hear a black woman talk like that. So a lot of black women don't voice their pain and their vulnerability that way because they hide it. We pretty much don't really tell the extent of how hurtful their actions are. If we just say, "Oh, we gonna leave, we gonna divest, and he ain't shit. What he done?" Da da da. When really, it is extremely painful. So I personally don't have a problem saying that. That it is like it's like a knife going not only just like in the middle of my pineal gland, because to know what you know about black people, the science, not just just to know the history and the science, and to know everything that was going on before our descent into subjugation, not just know Kemet shit. I'm talking about to know the Songhai Empire, the Canaan Empire, the Bornu Empire, just all mad fucking empires. Sudan has 250 pyramids, so it's not just Egypt, not just Kemet that I'm talking about here. And so when I see, when you research those things and you see the power that the black woman had, you see the power that the black man had, and you see how they pretty much got along. Yes, to be honest, the queen mothers were like the mothers of the community. So it was like, even though these men were grown somewhat, they had their power and they were very much respected and loved. But it was always mama. Here's Mama Africa, here's Mama Earth, and then the manifestation of the queen mothers as a archetype of mama still. So it was mama, 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 literally until the black men dies. And yes, even there was black men that were in their 40s and 50s, if they did something really ridiculous like stole, they were stealing, or they did something like violent to another woman, at 50 years old he would receive a spanking. by the queen mother, the queen mothers on the butt. So like those things, when black men came into contact with other patriarchs, from different parts of the world, and seeing that that's just not how it, how they were doing the complete opposite. What we were doing working for us, and then there's geographical and biological evolutionary reasons for why our style of governance existed, why the queen mothership existed. So I've talked about that in my books, I've talked about it in other videos, so I'm not going to get into that in this video. But there is a very specific reason for why we had our system like that. But when the black men come into contact with other people, see that it's patriarchy, there is no woman. For one, there is no, she's in a cave, or she's at home. She's not, there's no woman to answer to. You do what you want to do. What do you mean you have to talk to the queen mother? What do you mean you have to, what do you mean you get a spanking? Come on, what? So those things were like something that black men started to begin to resent, that kind of power, how much power that we had, and because we raised them, we instilled into them. Because you got to figure, every black man is raised by a black mother. Even if you got a father, the fathers are always mostly passive. Black men are mostly balanced in their right state of mind, pretty much balanced creatures, pretty much logical creatures. So if you say, I came out of the womb of my mom, that means that I have to have respect for my mom. That's just common sense to the black men back in the day. The black men in Africa before colonialization and slavery. So they pretty much was raised since they came out the womb that this is the queen mothership and this how it go. So they never questioned it until the idea of trade came in around 10th century. Until the idea of the opportunity to make trade deals to sell rival tribes, all types of stuff. Once black men realize, okay, there's money to be made, and we have to undermine the power of the queen mothers because we have to go through them to do everything, including sign treaties. They gotta go. And then knowing that they had the muscle power, the man power, of course, to just it ain't nothing, a man could really just snap a woman's neck with his hand, that's how strong they are. So it was nothing to really, that once they got in their mind that they was just not going to put up with the queen mothership anymore. And the rest is history. Literally, like, this is what happened. So, this is why we have been in a situation that we have been in, and everything has literally morphed into a very demonic energy. It has literally been, it's something undescribable that I see. The behavior of our men today is literally it's something I don't recognize. I'm just shocked. I have cognitive dissonance, I guess, because all these things, what melanin's supposed to do, so all this stuff about melanin, and a lot of that science is true from the Western perspective and from the Eastern perspective. And then you start to research your actual history from the Western perspective and the Eastern perspective. And even the Western perspective, they don't pretty much lie about it. They did a lot of cover-ups in the past, but there has been a lot of archaeologists, there's been a lot of Egyptologists, a lot of social scientists, a lot of biologists who have just come out and said the truth. It might not be on the mainstream, but there's books out here that just will tell you. It's professors at Harvard that say, hell yeah, the black woman is pretty much God, and yeah, she's first being on the planet, and we pretty much can verify that her genetics is completely, we studied her DNA and and we found her bones. She the oldest bones we found, and just the science of how the gestation works of just how childbirth works, and when you study that, there's something going on with the woman. So the woman is the power. So when you just know all that stuff, it's lonely at the top. It is lonely at the top, because I can't imagine thinking that it's okay to do a black woman like that after she getting shot like that, and then calling her a snitch. And that's black men's way to protect their image. They're embarrassed because they know they always doing some stupid shit to black women. Again, you want to show, if y'all want me, make a collage of everything that has ever happened to black women just within the last month. I mean, it will be hundreds and hundreds. Not not given within the last 10 years of what y'all been doing. Y'all literally have been out of your mind. And they always put the blame to protect their image. They use zero logic. No logic. There is no logic in anything that they do, just like with the Tekashi 6ix9ine shit. There will be zero logic and just whatever we can do to preserve the image. So now that the first step was she's lying. So everybody was saying she was lying. It's clear as day that she wasn't lying. So now that she came on and said that he actually did it, now she snitched. First they were laughing to try to play it down, and hopefully that, basically they want to white society to see that this is, they always do things that's pretty much evident of some sort of very much demented brainwashing, self-hatred like a brainwashed MK Ultra. I don't know what that is. Like, it's just strange. Like, they're laughing at someone getting shot, then people come out and say, I shouldn't be laughing at that. So then it's, well, she's lying. So then she comes out and say it. So now she's a snitch. So it just gets deeper and deeper, more demented, more illogical. So it's just I can't relate to that kind of consciousness. I can't. To me, it's shocking. It's mind-boggling. You can see how fast I'm talking. That it is so disturbing, and it's not the first time I've heard some crazy stuff like this. Like, literally my whole life I've been seeing insane stuff. I lived in the hood, and I've seen crazy stuff. Now I stay away from that shit, and I won't be around any of that ever. But what I'm saying is, this stuff is just so hurtful, and it's okay if that's the hill y'all want to die on, because I'm telling you now, it's no fun when a rabbit got the gun, and you really will reap what you sow. You really will. And again, like I said, that big ass spiritual stuff, the stuff I see on the spiritual side is not good, black men. It's not good. It's not good at all, and it's quite disturbing. And I know that y'all like to try to protect your image and take zero accountability. I'm telling you, so much alleviation, so much freeing of the epigenetics and trauma within yourself will come with accountability. You have no idea what that would do for your soul. And not for black women, not for white people, not for nobody. For yourself. If you don't even gotta tell nobody. If you said as a man within the crevices of your own home while no one is looking, that you're gonna value accountability. You're gonna take accountability for the collective and for the individual. Because imagine if it happened on the collective scale, and you as a black man went and got other black men in private again and said, we're gonna do this accountability thing, not for anybody else, but for our motherfucking souls. The alleviation of trauma within the epigenetics, and the alleviation, the navigation of karma I was telling you about. That's how that shit take place. As a spiritual intuitive, I don't have a reason to lie. And I'm telling y'all to take accountability for y'all, for just on a soul level. You don't even if you say, I don't even want to date a black woman. Who cares? You still have to take accountability for collective shit y'all been doing. Even if you say you the good guy. You probably still laughed at Megan getting shot. Or didn't do right by a black woman or in some point in your life. If you claim you got to educate, the bar is so low in our community, I think is education and not went to jail, not going to jail, and that makes you the good and that makes you the good guy. Oh shit. So I mean, there's a lot of dysfunction. So admitting that dysfunction and saying, taking an oath to not engage in it is what I mean by the accountability aspect. Because maybe you in particular are not doing those things, that you're not making a video calling her a snitch, or you don't think she's a snitch. Okay, great. So you have to take that oath to the ancestors, to the gods, African gods preferably, and to your soul, that you are going to denounce. You're not going to entertain men talking like that around you, laughing and calling her a snitch. You're going to speak up. If you can do that, whether you feel like you have a duty to the black community or not, if you can do that, you would make this world a better place. And I know that sounds so obnoxious. It's really not. If you can take accountability on a soul level and take an oath to say, I'm not going to engage in no stupid shit like that as a man. That's not what a man is. I'm not going to do that. You would make the world a better place, because whether you feel loyalty to the black community or not, or to black women or not, you alleviate, again, the spiritual trauma. Your own personal epigenetics gets cleared, but also the level of fuckery goes down, because you are in the right state of mind, you're in the right state of consciousness, but you don't allow other men to be in your vibration who don't resonate with that same state of consciousness. So if you hear someone laughing and say, it's not, how's that funny? Like, how is she a snitch? Can you logically, if you was to say to another black man, can you logically tell me how Megan Thee Stallion is a snitch? Or if you just look down on, like, that's stupidity. Not all ideas are equal, you know? So if you just called it out and said, that's just insane, like, I can't understand the logic in that, and you said that and just moved on, you didn't get no fight about it or nothing, you ain't gotta broadcast it. But even if your personal life, you carried yourself in that sense, less harm will be done to everybody, trust me. And the accountability aspect is so important for you. Even if you said you have to go live in a Buddhist monastery cave by yourself for the next years, because even if you say I don't have a loyalty to none of this, I'm just out. Even if you were one of those people, if you were to say if you were to value accountability as a man, knowing the history of everything that has been done for the last 1,000 years, the slug of all of that ancestral weight, the trauma, the epigenetics, and the karma gets cleared. This is the one thing, for whatever reason, there is a demon implanted or attached somewhere that just will not let black men take accountability. And it is a part of him. So I'm not saying it's a separate demon, literally, please don't interpret it that way. There is literally, I'm being trying to make an analogy, but it's a poor one because it's still making it seem like the demon has the accountability. No, there is literally something within the consciousness of black men that is blocked off of accountability. So if you notice, it's the same stream of consciousness. If anything that goes wrong, that is his fault, the blaming starts, the laughing starts, the white mommy, white daddy start, all of these weird, like, again, the brainwashing MK Ultra program. Like, it's bad, man. Like, y'all don't see how this look. And then you don't make that correlation with why you're still in the bottom. You don't make that correlation of why your communities look the way they look. You don't make any correlation of why there's no power or any stable economic structure, because you shoot and you think it's okay to shoot a black woman, laugh about it, lie about it, and then say she's a snitch. If you can't see the correlation between that and what's valued on the macro level between building and being a man, you can't see that, then this community will never be liberated. And it will be wise for black women to do a variety of modalities to make sure that she's liberated. And for those black men that say that they understand and that they are willing to support, then you want to implement the Queen Mothership right away. You want to study all of the African kingdoms. The scholars have not told you the truth about how most of these societies were pretty much, it was not matriarchy, but it was a dual political system where male and female counterparts were existing throughout all hierarchies in the governance of Africa. So whether it was on the commoner level, whether it was on the royal level, whatever level it was on, this is just how it worked in Africa. I'm so shocked that there's not even more. I'm shocked that this is not a common thing in the black community. You know how, like, we know that that blacks came from West Africa, and that some of us are descendants of the EV3A haplogroup or EM2 haplogroup, which can be found in Egypt and Ramesses the third and his descendants. And like this, the common stuff that we know about black people. I'm shocked that we don't know about the Queen Mothership and about how Africa was really running shit and what happened, why it fell, and what, like, that to me is that's shocking, because that's the key to the to literally fixing it, and I guess that's buried on purpose then. And then, like, a lot of black men, they're not ready to accept the power of the black woman. They're very scared and very jealous of it, and they're very hateful of it. And it's a implant. It's a projection of again the Western thought within their mind that they think is right, that they've been brainwashed to think is right. So they reject a philosophy that's actually natural to them, the philosophy that was actually occurring in Africa. So then they're not going to study what happened and how we got subjugated. All it is white guys showed up in some boats and took us, and we tried to fight. That's not how it happened. It's just not. And the refusal to accept that, and the refusal to fix that, and by fix that I mean reinstating the Queen Mothership philosophy, and making sure that dual political system works, or that diarchy exists within the family unit of black women and black men. That's the key that's missing, and that is completely why you're on the bottom. It's no other way around it. And again, some of us are going to be fine. Many of us will be fine. Well, some. But this to me is it makes me feel like everything that I think and everything that I do is pretty much in vain. That there's no hope. Basically, that's what it makes me feel like sometimes. Like, it's just a hard pill to swallow, because I actually just released my book today, and the things that I put in that book, I know for a fact is for black men and black women. It is obviously written from a perspective of the black woman's liberation and the black woman's soul blueprint. So it's about the Queen Mothership, So, but the things within that book is clearly, like, there's points that can be proven to benefit black men, because I wrote it from the perspective of the black woman being able to liberate herself, whether you guys support her or not. So it is written from the perspective of the black woman's liberation, only because for the last 1,000 years, it has been shown that she gets thrown under the bus by her male counterparts. It's literally for the last 1,000 years, and I can prove that in history. So it would not have been wise to put the bet, to put it all on the black men. It shouldn't be on him anyways, because he's not the mother of the race. He's the child of the race. He's the man of the race, but he came out of her. So that is mama. Whether y'all jealous of it, whether y'all hate her, the black woman is a very powerful being that you are undermining, that you are understating, and that you are devaluing. And you do what you feel in your soul you have to do, but all things balance out in the end, and all things get corrected. It's called the boomerang effect, and you guys will learn your lesson the hard way. Hopefully you learn it the easy way. The Queen Mothership shit, that's the easy stuff. That's easy money, easy. So if y'all just follow that, y'all be good. But y'all just dismiss that, which you most likely will, and I'm prepared for that. And I'm prepared to shift the focus completely. The focus is already on the black woman and the child, but if it's written from the perspective where I can pivot quickly, if the message gets slant by the men, because it hasn't so far, because once I break down the history, it's kind of like, whoa, and some black men feel like, oh, so this is what's been missing. This is what I knew, but this is what, it's not, nobody, and not a lot of people know about it yet. So what happens if once it gets well known, how would the message be received? So I'm waiting for y'all to call me the snitch, and to call me and to laugh at me and to do all those things. So the same treatment Megan getting, I'm most likely going to get it too. And I will know how to navigate that, and I will know what will come for you. I know pretty much on a spiritual realm what's in store for you, and the help is there if you need it. But for now, I have to focus on that black woman, focus on that black child, because that is the key. Right now, she's always been the key, and she's sleeping too much. So I'm gonna help her and help myself, obviously, because I need help just like y'all need help, clearly. But back to that Megan Thee Stallion shit, man. This is so bad, and I guess I just did not want to believe. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, I just was like, I know that we not that lost as a people. We cannot be that lost to call that woman a snitch and be laughing at her, blaming her. I just did not want to believe it, and I probably should not have went on YouTube and out of curiosity seeing what the discourse was. I saw it on Homeboy's page on his Facebook, and I thought it was so bizarre. Like, but it wouldn't escape my mind. I'm like, why would people think that? Like, what's going on? Am I missing out on something? And I probably should have not looked that stuff up on YouTube, because it kind of brought out the rage again. I'm telling you, I was very, very rageful, very angry, and I'm still very angry at a lot of things, but not to where, oh man, like the things, it's been 5 years of studying this type of stuff. So I thought I was better mentally. So when I saw that, I just don't like dysfunction and degeneracy. Like, I just don't like illogic stuff. Like, I don't like stupidity. Like, I just can't take that vibration. And I don't like self-hatred, and I don't like hatred of the black woman. Like, that kind of is just so dysfunction to me. It's demonic, is all I can say. So when I looked on that stuff on the YouTube and seeing that, you know, I was so hurt to see that there has been no progress, man. I thought a little progress was made. I'm not gonna lie. I live in a bubble. I look at certain things. I pay attention to only certain things. So I thought that there was a little bit of progress being made, and there's another egg on my face moment. I've been having egg on my face moments literally for the last 4 months. So I don't even know how. I'm writing material. I'm getting books out. I'm doing things, making documentaries. Not documentaries, but like little videos and shit. But they're well planned out with a storyboard and with nice little pictures and little stock videos and stuff. So I do the best I can do to make these videos to help black people. And when I see stuff like that, it just kind of be like, whoa, I think I'm talking to brick walls. Like right now, I think I'm talking to the trees outside my window right now. Like, that's who's listening right now, some damn trees, because y'all damn sure not listening. Y'all damn sure not listening to nothing I say. In fact, y'all probably gonna nail me to the cross, because I come with that heat. I don't lie. I will not lie to make y'all feel good. I know the truth about you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I know that y'all undersell yourself, undervalue yourself, hate yourself. I pretty much know all that about black people. It's pretty obvious. I pretty much know that y'all have refused to build. You have wasted a lot of time hating on each other. And anytime black person want to do something good, y'all get jealous of them. Y'all try to harm them. Anytime somebody step up to want to liberate you or actually fight for you, you kill them and you harm them. So, I'm pretty much seeing just the stupid shit y'all been doing for the last 60 years. I pretty much see how y'all treat the black woman. So, but there's also the good things that I know as well. Plenty of good as well. So, probably just too invested. I don't know. All I would say, guys, is please look at that look at the Queen Mothership series, part 1 through part 6. Because I know I have a book out, but even if you don't want to get the book, just look at the free fucking YouTube videos about the Queen Mothership, and then decide if you want to get the book on the actual tenets and beliefs of what we need to be doing. But look to see and study what happened and why we got in the situation and why it perpetuates itself. So I think it's part 4. It's a 6-part, but only part 1 through part 4 is up. So check that out so that y'all can truly start to liberate your mind and expand your consciousness so you can see on a macro level of what has been going on in our community and why something that macro could lead through something that can affect a situation so micro like Megan and Tory. Like something so stupid like that, you know, I'm not saying Megan's stupid. I'm just saying like a situation that seems so minute can be rooted in 1,000 years of gender war conflict between black men and black men that was started by black men. And to see that accountability, that lack of accountability spirit, where it manifests from, how it manifests, why it hasn't manifest. And to check that out, check the whole channel out. There's lots of stuff to help the situation. Oh man, it's just so bad, man. I have no idea what y'all doing. I have no idea. So I'm gonna talk to y'all later. This I'm sorry, I got distracted. I was looking out the window. Try to take heed to what the hell I said in this video. And in particular, black men. Black women start developing checks and balances. We got to really work together in an underground way to start to create a system and modalities to protect ourselves mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So that's what the Noctic Queen Mothership does. And there's also more dark tactics that I can discuss with women who actually want to save the black community and get it to like some Black Wall Street type shit. That may be a very large order or tall order. It can be done, but very much discipline. You would need extreme discipline, and you would need extreme like fragmentation of morality. Like the things that you would have to do would be so dark, and I don't even know if it would be worth discussing, even on the underground level. You know, that's how deep this stuff would be. That's how occult this stuff is. Because everything is so messed up. Everything is so wretched. It's so wretched, you know. And that kind of wretchedness is a spirit. It's a demon now, and it's not going to go away quietly. If you were to say you want every black man to be like Thomas Sankara, if every black man to be like the guys who built the banks and Wall Street, or who started I'm talking about like when I say I meant Black Wall Street. I'm talking about there were black men who started banks in Tulsa. There were black men who built all the schools in Mount Bayou. I'm talking about that. If you are thinking like this is, you feel in your mind, which many of you black women don't, but there are some that do all that damn marching. They get shot in the head with rubber bullets and shit. You know, those type of women. You need to know that your efforts are going to be in vain if you miss out on the path, on the tactics that you would need to use. Because that marching with a sign, getting shot in your head with a rubber bullet, and saying Trayvon, all that stuff, screaming and all that stuff outside, it ain't gonna do shit. That's not gonna fix no black community. So if that's what your goal is, even though that's not my work that I focus on, I have still been shown what it would take. So if we want to have an underground forum or something like that discussing those type of things, it would need to be some like encrypted shit, you know. But that would be something I would entertain, I guess. How do I say this? It will be something I would discuss. Like I will first want to know, what do y'all think need to be done to get it fixed? Hopefully you would not tell me no damn marching in Selma and all this shit and voting. Hopefully you would know that's not. Hopefully you would be beyond that level. And if it's not at the level where I would need it to be, I won't entertain a discussion, because I would be talking to a brick wall, even to you, if you told me some soft shit like that. Because I'm telling you, the tactics that would need to be enacted to fix this community, I've met one that talk like this, that knows actually, but a lot of black women turned on her. She's actually one of my influences, and people try to twist everything she say up and make her sound crazy. People have tried to switch up her message, and she's right. A lot of the things she say actually inadvertently help men, but a lot of black men say that she hates them. Then a lot of black women feels like she's too harsh, or she's too dark-sided, or the dark wisdom is too much. But everything she has said is actually correct. And unfortunately, black women, if they were in tune enough, they would see that what she says about what we would need to do, even if we wanted to save the black community, she's right. But many black women feel it's too dark. They say it themselves. The things I would be saying, when I wouldn't be the first one, I would be talking about things on a lot more micro level about like what do those things look like when this person who has already put that message out, when she says the thing that she says, and I know I'm being abstract right now because I'm not gonna it's not so much that I don't want to give her credit, it's just more so that, for one, I don't want to bring her into my shenanigans and my rhetoric of what I feel, and I don't want her to get attacked, or I just don't want any fuzzy energy. And I know how black women like to start beef between other black women and stuff when it's somebody that I have pretty much a lot of respect for. So that's why I'm not saying her name and calling her, because then people go back and they say she called you out, or she trying to switch up, she trying to steal your this and look, no. So, and she's not the first one that came out with that. It was women before her that said that as well, not as in detail and not as nuanced as her. Everybody updates the information or upgrades the information or adds on to the information. So that all I did was just add on. Okay, so black women, whew, I just see so much wretchedness. I see so much I see you embellished in so much wretchedness, such beauty, such power, such glory, embellished in wretchedness from her son. And she is acting like a victim. She don't know what to do. She's tired. She's weary. She doesn't know what to do, and she don't know how to check. All she got to do is just check this her son. That's all she got to do. And when I say the son, I'm talking about the black man. That's all she got to do is check him. And there's a certain way to do that, and it's already been laid out by our ancestors, by the African ancestors. It's already out. I promise you. I'm talking about ancient, just history from the last 10,000 years. Already, all we gotta do is just research it, see what they did, and implement that system again. And black men will get on board. Maybe not by this generation, by the second generation, because you have to raise them You have to raise them as soon as they come out the womb. Like literally, as soon as they come out the womb, the training begins. The training of self-love, the training of self-respect, the training of the black woman is God, the training soon as they come out the womb. I know that sounds obnoxious, but I'm serious. That baby, whether it's boy or girl, gets to understand who they are, gets to understand that they are loved. Obviously, they can come out, you form a bond, you give them the breast milk, then the training starts, because they're not going to grow up to be no self-hating ass bitch like what we see all these black people doing now, hating themselves, hating the black woman, laughing at degeneracy, embracing degeneracy, loving the demons, loving the I cannot take it, just loving this system that is just so demented. I just don't understand it. They just love anything that's not right for them. They do everything wrong, then wonder why things don't go right. How you do all these shit that's wrong to yourself and to each other, and then wonder why things don't go right, black man. Get out of y'all fucking mind, man. And I have so much love in my heart. I know my friends think I'm crazy. I be texting them long ass shit, telling them what we gotta do as a community, telling them we gotta hang on and we gotta work together. And some of them niggas be looking like, look, it's a wrap, it's done, the black community been done, move on, girl, focus on your shit and get your money. They pretty much, I won't even say they friends, because there's a lot of people I roll in circles, that I won't say that are elite, but just people who have no problem throwing each other under the bus and selling out. That's all I say. I'm around people that will see none of that as a problem. Where I would see that as something crazy, where I would see that as a problem. I'm around people that literally have no problem doing that. I've been around black people who've literally tried to do that to me, because we're in spaces where it's like only just like 3 black people, just such a tiny amount of black people. So they all like cats, like ready with the claws out, and I can't relate to that. Here I am thinking, and my mind is but I didn't come from that pedagogy. I didn't come from that upbringing. I came from the hood. I just happened to have extremely high intellect and was able to rise up and figure out things and shit like that, So I came up different, came up valuing loyalty, came up looking at us like we all gonna make it, we all gotta make it, that type of shit. But there's people there's not very much black people that think like that, and the arenas that I am in, and that sucks. But that's why I'm slowly ushering out of that arena and trying to be a tribe of one, but also find those kindred spirits, find people who are just like me, who value loyalty, but who value logic, who value truth, who value discipline, who value self-love and self-respect and African pedagogy, that our ancestors, who, just looking for those people who value those type of things. And I know they exist. I know that there's black people that are like that value seeing each other win, that don't have that jealousy in their heart. I gotta find those people, because I've literally been around people that are so jealous hearted, not of white people, of each other. I cannot understand that, so I can't be around that anymore. I can't be around dysfunction either, because even in the hood there's dysfunction. It may not be it's shit like the Megan Thee Stallion stuff. So I got to get away from all of it. I don't want to be around none of it on any level. I want to find kindred spirits like me who are righteous and have pure hearts towards each other and to themselves. Just righteousness, and they don't mean no fucking harm. They don't have no bad intentions and no ulterior motives and stuff. So that's what I'm looking for, and that's why I started my own journey, and start making these videos, because I got so fed up with seeing black people not sticking up for themselves, or black people going with the same mantras that I know are so detrimental to their progress. So that's why I started my YouTube channel, and that's why I started writing. Even though I wrote the Noctic Queen Mothership, I'm writing other stuff. Like, everything is just as a sort of quasi therapy, but also in the hopes of finding understanding and people who understand me. So I said a lot. I know I went on. And that's all I gotta say. So I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Bye.